Hello, welcome to MaD Ghana's News Hub. My name is Entry Moses and I will be bringing you news on coronavirus for this week. Now let's look at the headlines. Ghana records 217 new cases to bring COVID-19 case count to 6,486 with 1,951 recoveries. The Ghana Health Service has provided details of the 28 persons who have so far succumbed to the COVID-19 disease in the country. Government not ready to reopen schools, says Mr. Kojo Opong Nkrumah. Some 245 Ghanaians living in Kuwait illegally will be deported to Ghana on Saturday, May 23rd, the government has announced. President Trump says WHO ignored racism against Africans in China. Now into the major news. Ghana has recorded 217 new cases of the novel coronavirus, bringing the number of confirmed cases to 6,486. According to the website of the Ghana Health Service, recoveries have also climbed to 1,951, indicating a rise of 53 from the last upgrade. The number of deaths still remains at 31. Now with the regional breakdown, we have Greater Accra region recording 4,699, Ashanti region 988, Central region 287, Western region 195, Eastern region 106, Western North region 57, Volta region 44, Northern region 34, Oti region 26, Upper East region 26, Upper West region 21, Northeast region 2, Bono region 1, Savannah region 0, and Ahafo region 0. Moving forward, the list, which was provided in the latest COVID-19 updates, gave the underlying health conditions responsible for the deaths. Although the list did not mention the names of the victims, their ages and gender were provided in a tabular format. The data showed that the majority of the patients who succumbed to the battle against COVID-19 had hypertension, diabetes mellitus, asthma, and liver diseases. 3 persons on the list, however, died without any underlying health condition. The 3 are a 9-year-old, a 32-year-old man, and a 20-year-old who are 2nd, 12th, and 23rd on the list. 17 of the victims, representing 61% of the number, were males, with the remaining 11, representing 39%, being females. 12 persons on the list, representing 43% of the total fatalities, were above 60 years. Persons who were from ages 30 to 60 were 12 in number, representing another 43%. The remaining 4 victims, which constituted 14% of the mortality rate, were below the age of 30. 20 of the deaths were from Greater Accra region, 5 from Ashanti region, 2 from Upper East region, and 1 from Northeast region. In our next story, the Information Minister, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, has indicated that government has not taken yet any decisions on when schools will reopen. This comes after some teacher unions, parents, and other stakeholders expressed their worries that reopening schools at a time that Ghana continues to receive or record COVID-19 cases will pose as a threat to teachers and students. However, Mr. Oppong Nkrumah at the press briefing said the claims causing the unease are untrue. According to him, government is currently deliberating on ways to reopen schools without endangering the lives of staff and students. The minister also observed that with no cure or vaccine for the novel coronavirus, people must learn to live as normally as they can to live with the virus. Noting that people cannot live in confinement forever, hence challenging citizens to come up with ideas that can assist government in easing the restrictions imposed on certain activities. It is okay to have worries. It is okay to wonder how this will be done. But we must channel those worries towards answering the question, what does it take? What should be the indication of a good time? What will be the best way to protect teachers, non-teachers, students, if we are to open up at some point? The Ofuase Ayuribi MP said, the deeper the public engagement, the better option we will have. We will be looking at our international stories after this short break. Welcome back from the short break. Some 245 Ghanaians living in Kuwait illegally will be deported. The deportees will arrive via a special chartered flight at the cost of the Kuwaiti government. As Ghanaians' borders remain closed to prevent importation of the novel coronavirus, the government of Ghana has granted a special permit for the admission of the said deportees to Ghana. Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah said that at a press conference on Friday. Addressing the media at the press center of the ministry, Mr. Oppong Nkrumah said all the deportees will be mandatorily quarantined and tested for the coronavirus upon arrival into the country. Deportees who test positive would be given the necessary supportive treatment, while those who test negative will remain in quarantine for a second test at the end of a 14-day quarantine period, said Oppong Nkrumah. He said all the deportees will remain in the custody of the states in line with immigration laws of Ghana on deportees. Preliminary investigation would then commence into the circumstances of their illegal stay in Kuwait, the minister said. He added, it is after this investigation that a case-by-case determination would be made on the status and further handling of each deportee. The cost of quarantine and treatment would be borne by government, he said. He also assured that all safety measures would be adhered to in the handling of the deportees. The US President Donald Trump has criticized the World Health Organization, WHO for not responding strongly to reports of racism and discrimination against Africans living in southern Chinese city of Guangzhou in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak. Mr. Trump has called the WHO health body a puppet of China and had threatened to permanently freeze US funding. He has repeatedly accused China of failing in its response to the pandemic. In his letter to WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom, President Trump accused the body of non-commenting on China's racially discriminatory actions, despite complaints of forced quarantines, evictions, and refusal of services by African nationals. He was referring to widespread testing of foreign nationals in Guangzhou in mid-April that was marred by claims of Africans being targeted on the basis of their race. Video clips of Africans sleeping on the streets after allegedly being evicted from houses and hotels emerged, with those interviewed saying they were being forced into quarantine. The Guangzhou authorities at the time denied claims of racial profiling, but President Trump has said the WHO should have condemned the racially discriminatory actions. President Trump has shared the letter he sent to Dr. Tedros on Twitter. We have come to the end of our news for today. Please do well to observe the social distancing protocols. Wear a face mask, wash your hands very, very regularly, and use your hand sanitizers. Thank you.